This video is for number 4 of 5.5b. It's the Loft. So this is a new command that we have not used yet. I'm going to go ahead and first create a sketch of this rectangle and extrude it to a depth of 1.5 units deep. So I'm going to go ahead and start that first. And the loft is going to be a cut that we end up cutting out of this rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the front plane, draw a rectangle. I'm going to start at the origin, so the length of that rectangle is 2.5 units. I'm going to hit tab, and the height of that rectangle is 1.5 units. Now I'm going to zoom out, finish the sketch, and then extrude it to a value of 1.5 units as it shows here in the lesson. So extruding 1.5 and hit enter. I'm going to use the home button to reposition that. I like zooming out a little bit to see it a little better. Now, we need to place 2D sketches on the front and the back. So my first 2D sketch, I'm going to go on the front here. I'm going to start a sketch there and zoom in so I can see a little bit better. And I'm going to go ahead and click this right here in order to get my sketch set up, and I'll zoom in so it's a little easier to see. So I've got a triangle that's 0.25 from the sides and the bottom. So I could just come here and do polygon and choose 3, but really I think the easiest thing is to just draw a triangle with the lines. So I'm going to come across. I'm not worried about position right now. I'm not worried about placement. We're just going to get the actual triangle first. I'm going to use dimension, point to point. This is going to be 0.25. And point to point. This is also going to be 0.25. And finally, the bottom point to the bottom edge is 0.25. Now you'll notice my triangle is not equal. There's a few things that I can do for this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit equal sign and make these two lines equal. That's going to fully define it. This is directly in the center, and now I can finish the sketch. To do a loft, you must have 2 sketches, kind of like a sweep on the paper clip that you did earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this, go to the back face sketch. I'll zoom in so we can see that a little bit easier as well, and rotate to the back side so I can click the back face and start a new sketch. This is a little bit smaller. I'm just going to draw a triangle once again, making sure I'm right on that edge. Again, when I'm drawing this out, I'm not terribly concerned about exact placement. I'm simply getting it placed in, and I'll use dimensions, point to point. This is going to be 0.5. Point to point. This is also going to be 0.5. And the bottom is 0.75. So I'll click the bottom and the bottom edge, make that 0.75. And again, to make these equal, make it centered, these 2 lines with the equal constraint, I'm going to click that line and that line. So I'm all set. Okay, so I've got 2 sketches ready to go. Now we're going to do the loft. So, loft is located in the Create panel. So loft is right here. I'm going to go ahead and click it. And within this, we've got to pick out the sections. So it's really important that we have fully defined regions to pick from. So to add sections, we can click this. And I'm going to select a sketch. It's going to be this sketch right here, sketch 3. Click to add another, and I can zoom around to the other side and choose sketch 2, or I can pick it right here. Either way is fine. Now you'll see that I'm lofting from one side to the other. That's what these green things are for. But right now, it's a loft with a join. If I click OK, nothing happens. So don't worry about clicking OK. I get an error, and it's just trying to loft through a solid that already exists. So I'm going to click Edit here. And instead of joining, I'm going to cut it. Now you'll see that it's red. And when I cut with the loft, what's going to happen is it cuts out that section there. So that's loft. And we can use that to cut out area from one region to another, and those regions aren't exactly the same. It's a pretty powerful tool, really neat tool that I want you to practice with. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.